If you've ever seen some orcas doing a show at SeaWorld, you may think, hey, maybe these guys caught a bad rep. They're obedient, they're sweet with the trainers, they put on a show for us, and they're black and white. They're like some pandas of the sea. To that we'd say, did you know that your sweet sea pandas are grade A psychopaths that not only kill their prey, but also use its carcass as a baseball afterwards to play catch with their son? Yeah, didn't think so. Before we get started though, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. Now let's jump into it. That's right folks, it's all about orcas for this video. Today we'll be going over these black and white embodiments of bad news and exactly how and why they've managed to show up on the death certificates of damn near every animal that touches ocean water. Let's start right away with the gigantic size of these monochromatic angels of death. Orcas on average are 22 to 26 feet long and weigh between 8,000 and 12,000 pounds. But despite the killer whale alias, they aren't exactly whales. They're basically just dolphins on steroids. The term killer whale is actually a derivative of whale killer, which is what old-timey sailors used to call orcas because, well, they killed whales. More on this later. Other physical characteristics that help them become a top-notch predator include their huge and sharp teeth, which can extend up to 4 inches. Now, your ex-girlfriend might disagree, but thousands of dead sea creatures can verify 4 inches is more than enough. Additionally, an orc's body is what we call hydrodynamic in shape, perfectly cylindrical and tapered at each end. This allows it to swim 34 miles per hour, making sure the news of your death reaches you as timely as possible. But orcas are an apex predator. This means that no animal naturally preys on them. They're at the top of the food chain. They couldn't have achieved this position on sheer size and strength alone. After all, there are much bigger fish in the sea. Orcas aren't just large and strong, they are also devilishly intelligent and highly social creatures. They always hunt in packs, and each time they hunt, the strategy changes depending upon their prey, and the strategy is always well communicated among the pack. You can just imagine these devious bastards staying up the night before a hunt, standing around a table with a single lamplight hanging above, knocking over chess pieces. Let's talk about some of these strategies in detail to show you what we mean. First we have Number 5, the wave wash. Seals like to rest on blocks of ice where no one can harm them and they can lower their defenses. Orcas, being social creatures, seem to have a problem with someone having a chill time by themselves. Classic extroverts, so they've devised a strategy. They swim toward the block of ice at full speed and dive at the last second, creating a wave with their tails which washes the seal back into the ocean. They do this repeatedly until the seal falls off. Once the seal is in the ocean, from then on, it's cake. What's a seal going to do against a bunch of orcas? Number 4, the tail whip. One of the most popularly feared creatures in the ocean is the great white shark, but that's just because the shark's PR company puts out that image. Orcas have the sharks dealt with while their agent is off advertising them for the happy, flippy, spinning shit they do at SeaWorld. Orcas have devised an unbelievably intelligent strategy to deal with great whites. The orca first uses its massive tail to push the shark to the surface. It then raises the tail high to slam it down on the shark's head. But this next part is the craziest. The orcas flip the shark upside down. Somehow the orcas have figured out shark biology and know that this sends the shark into what experts describe as tonic immobility. Of course, once the shark is paralyzed, it's nom-nom time. Number 3, the carousel. Fish are incredibly tiny and not worth chasing one by one. So for them, orcas blow coordinated bubbles to herd large quantities of fish into a ball. Then, they simply use a sharp blow from their tail to knock the fish out and boom, they gulp massive quantities of them at once. Number 2, the blowhole block. First off, there was no way to make that name not sound dirty. We really tried. Secondly, the blowhole block is an attack orcas use on whales. In this attack, the orcas ram, bite, and pull the bigger whale one by one, slowly wearing it down. They attack the whale repeatedly from above, preventing its blowhole from reaching the surface, hence the name of the attack. Once the gigantic whale is tired, it wearily drowns and the orcas remove their favorite bits from it, the tongue and blubber, leaving the rest for the next predator. Orcas are picky eaters. They do a similar thing with sharks, only removing their livers and leaving the rest. Several sharks devoured by orcas in this way have washed ashore, calling the loudest bullshit on that opening scene from Jaws 2. And finally we have number 1, Storming the beach. Orcas seem to have a massive ego to match their massive body. Apparently being the baddest cat in the ocean is not enough for them. If sea lions or elephant seals climb the shore to escape them, orcas will intentionally beach themselves to catch the prey and then look like an idiot hopping and flapping to get back into the ocean. Just eat a different sea lion, man. The ocean has like hundreds or thousands of them. And then, to add insult to massively traumatic injury, orca will use prey like sea lions or even stingrays or penguins to play catch among themselves. They'll repeatedly throw the prey back and forth between each other purely for fun. Some say it's to teach hunting to their young, so basically you know you're f***ed if it's bring your daughter to work day with orcas around. Speaking of daughters, orcas live in family groups called pods. The pods consist of related mothers and the descendants known as matrilines. A male orca will live with its mother for its entire life, and it's the undisputed ruler of the sea. So stop picking on Jared from college for doing the same thing. But despite killing pretty much anything in the ocean that they can get their hands on, or fins on, orcas have no history of human attacks, at least in the wild. This is because humans are not part of their natural diet. However, orcas have killed humans in captivity. There have been at least 3 orca-related deaths at SeaWorld by an orca named Tilikum. Following a documentary covering these deaths, SeaWorld faced a lot of backlash from the public and decided to end their orca breeding program in 2016. Tilikum died in 2017. Rest in peace. In the ocean, though, there have only been incidents of orcas ramming against boats occasionally, and experts claim that it's not a sign of aggression, rather it is just young male orcas playing with the boat. While that is comforting, if that boat flips over, I'm sure our definition of playtime will not be the same as that of a young male orca. Coming back to the killer whale's killing, being an animal that has managed to include so many species in its body count, surely the orcas have to sleep with one eye open at night, right? Surprisingly, they do. When sleeping, orcas only rest one half of their brain at a time while the other half remains alert. Consequently, when the left half of their brain sleeps, only the right eye is closed and the left is open, and vice versa. But why is this so? Unlike humans, orcas cannot breathe unconsciously, so they must be conscious to breathe, and if they let both halves of their brain fall asleep, they'll straight up forget to breathe and die. Hence, one half of their brain is always awake, keeping them breathing, and also scanning their environment for dangers. This is another reason why ain't nobody ever getting the jump on an orca, making them the one and only true apex predator. Want to know more crazy and unbelievable realities of the animal kingdom? Check out more of our content simply by clicking on the next video.